Good morning once again from Lillooet, Canada. Today we're driving around Lillooet a little bit to see the streets, but we really got to hit the highway. By the way, my sister is here again. See? And we are driving through this quaint, charming little town of Lillooet with not too many people, but a lot of sort of Canadian Wild West sort of character. It's another hot day today, and I'm trying to negotiate this strange intersection. Anyway, so we're driving today to a town called Hope down south, and a lot of it is on Highway 1, Canadian Highway 1. So looking forward to whatever happens on this route. We haven't researched it much again, so whatever cool roadside attractions we see, we're just gonna stop. It's about 11:30 a.m. and looking forward to it. Today, British Columbia shows its hot desert side. Not only are there unexpected views that look more like Arizona than Canada, but near the location of Canada's hottest ever recorded temperature, my weather app says it's about 94 degrees Fahrenheit, there's evidence of impossible to control wildfires.
I can smell the smoke.
Smell the smoke that have ravaged the area. This is it now. Everything burned, and we're continuing to rage even as we drove down the Trans-Canada Highway. That's amazing. Closer to the town of Hope, though, the dramatic mountain vistas were back with a vengeance. Whatever you think you'll find in British Columbia, there are always more surprises. Okay, first chance to get out really and stretch on this drive. We're a little ways out, maybe half an hour out from Lillooet. I found this majestic lake, the best lake I've seen on this trip so far, this whole Canada trip. So these roads between Lillooet and Cache Creek or wherever we're going. By the way, in all of this series of Canada videos, I apologize for completely mispronouncing all the place names. It's just not going to stop. That's how it is. Anyway, the roads are going through huge hills, not icy mountains, but huge rolling hills full of farms and fir trees and all kinds of interesting shadows and shapes and colors and stuff. But one thing that we have not seen on the entire trip, many hundreds of kilometers since Vancouver, is a tunnel. We've not driven through any tunnels. Everywhere else in the world I've ever seen or driven, they always have tunnels to get through the mountains, at least sometimes. But here, they'll just, I don't know what they do, route the road way around it. Maybe they don't want to, I don't know, maybe there's no engineering need to do it or something, but I wonder if we're ever going to see a tunnel on this trip. I don't really mind, but I dig a tunnel every now and then. But it's kind of interesting that we're always outside, so you always see what's going on kind of a cool feature of this trip. And speaking of farmlands in the rolling hills here, look at these. That to me is the perfect scene for little buildings out here in the rustic wilderness.
Gone fishing. That's the sound of Maddie's dog is just gone fishing. It's not working anymore, really. Guys be milking in the bar. He just don't give it down. He never seemed to learn. He's just got no ambition except for fishing. With his hound dog by his side, oh, gone fishing. How the fleas are biting at his hide. Well, I got my hand, got my pole. I'm heading down to that fishing hole, gone fishing. Instead of just wishing. Just gone fishing. There's a sound up at his door. He's gone fishing. He's not working anymore. Well, his hose has been making in the pond. He just don't give it down. He never seemed to learn. He's just got no ambition except for fishing.
Hey, great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Stopping for a car picnic. Again, we've got hummus left over from yesterday, not refrigerated overnight, but kept in a coolish hotel room, so we hope that's okay. We got the same crackers as the other day. And what? Oh, apple mango squeeze. And the Montelier lemon water. Now the best part is, the reason we stopped here is this view. Okay, here's a roadside attraction that I think you can't miss. This is the Ghost Town. Something like Dead Man's Junction Ghost Town.
There's no place in the United States except Death Valley, California, that has ever achieved warmer temperatures than here. This is a desert, and the temperature here recorded 3 years ago was 51.9 Celsius. That is 130 degrees. That is the record.
It's good to come to Canada to cool off, you know.
Well, you won't cool off here. And we do have rattlesnakes here as well. And they would be living where the yellow truck is. So be careful, like don't crawl around the grass there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a bunch of old buildings, and we were talking to the guy who runs it, and he was saying that like a lot of Hollywood productions have come here and used all this stuff, and it's really convincing. It's really just a little row of wooden buildings and wooden building fronts and all kinds of old like wooden wagon wheels and pieces of iron and lots of old-timey looking signs. Some of them actually old-timey, I think. A lot of them sort of newer, retro type things. Can't really go in the buildings except one where I went in and there was like a bunch of characters set up playing poker around tables, and there was like one figure of this woman looking, and when I noticed her, the statue was looking right at me. It was very, very lifelike and quite unnerving. I kept staring like, that's not a real person, is it? Anyway, it is on this kind of patchy ground with rocks and weeds, and the guy said there are a lot of rattlesnakes over in another little section. So be careful about rattlesnakes. Could be anywhere, I guess. One of those insane things you see on the side of the road. Hair salon, mark that off the list. The guy was also saying that this is the hottest part of Canada, which I knew, but he said it's also a desert and it's extremely dry, and I didn't know that, and there was a desert out here. Right now, my weather app says it's about 94 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's sort of in, I don't know where the weather station is, but sort of in a town maybe. Out here, maybe in the hotter desert, it feels kind of hotter. It feels at least about that, but maybe hotter. It's quite hot and quite dry, which is how you want it in a place like this. And here we are, train fans, at the Stagecoach Depot. Okay, we just left Dead Man's Ranch and we are headed now to Hope, British Columbia, Canada. It's 3:30 p.m. and we haven't really started going south yet, so we kind of just went laterally to the east on this trip. So we haven't even really made any progress is what I'm saying. Just like a good road trip. We've seen a lot of stuff already and nope. As I was saying, like any good road trip, we've seen a lot of stuff and we've not made any progress at all, which is how I like it. But we do have to get to Hope, so on to Hope. All right, we're stopped at a rest area on the side of the road. at a place just outside a place called Ashcroft. And for the last little while, all of these mountains all around us have been very, very, very hazy. And it's still the desert, so there's not much moisture in the air at all. So Christy theorized that it might be a wildfire or some kind of fire somewhere. And it may be. We haven't seen anything that would indicate that, except for the extremely smoky looking mountains. And now, as we pull out, I don't have any sense of smell, but what did you just say?
I could smell the smoke.
Smell the smoke. So apparently it is smoke somewhere for some reason. I hope it's not a big problem for whoever has to take care of it. Nice river here, but we got our answer. There is indeed a fire. So there must be some fire there. It's covering the sun. That's amazing. It's not good, but it is amazing looking. Another little roadside pullout. The fire, I guess, continues, but we're sort of on the other side of it, and the sun is back out like normal. The fire smoke was like obscuring the sun. It was quite something. Now, we've been following this river, and if you can see, this river on both sides has a train track. Double the chance. Oh, there's a train coming. There's a train coming. Perfect timing. Perfect timing to pull over here. I just wanted to look at the river. Then I noticed the tracks. Then the train came. Canada did it for me, personally. It is an extremely long train. I've not seen the end yet, and the end goes way down there. I'm not even gonna wait for it. It's too long, but there you go. The train, another success. Okay, I will wait for it. So all excited about the train, got in the car. A little bit later, there was these like deer going across the street like Abbey Road, 4 deer. Jumped out and took a picture of them, and I took a video of them. Now I had to stop and see this river that we've been following for a long, long time, and will be following for a while, I think, just to see the views from this lookout. And we're still not even at the place, the town of Lytton, where the real road trip starts down to Hope, and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This is gonna be a late night. This is gonna be a late night. What can you do? Canada has this much to give you on a road trip, you take it. Speaking of wildfires, this is the town of Lytton. As you see, there's not much to it. In June 2020, this place set the record for the highest temperature ever recorded in Canada. The day after that, a fire started and burned all of this. Up until that point, it was a lovely, very fun little community. All these several blocks were really, really nice. I've seen pictures of it. I've never been here before, but this is it now. Everything burned, almost everything burned. It's a small community with a lot of native people, or it was. Most people left. There are some signs that it's being rebuilt now, so that's good, but the whole thing was destroyed basically. And what wasn't destroyed, some of that was destroyed by another wildfire a couple years later. So it's almost a ghost town, except there's hardly any buildings to be haunted. And as I was just driving into town just now, another train happened to be going right over this railroad trestle as I went under it. And many people that lived here, some people that lived here, blamed the train for the wildfire. They said that trains that go by, when they brake on some of the curves and stuff, they often have little sparks and start little fires, and that's just one that got way out of hand. I'm not sure what the official word is. I don't know if they even know yet. But Lytton, a very sad tale, and hopefully one day it will be a miraculous tale of rebirth. Okay, this is it. We're gonna hit our first tunnel. So, since we left Lytton a little while ago, the desert part ended and it's now mountains. Big, big mountains full of big, big, big trees. And it's actually quite lovely, getting dark just because the mountains are hiding the sunlight. Anyway, pulled over to this rest area and turns out there's a waterfall. I pulled over really to see this burned out truck and to throw some stuff away in the trash can. It turns out there's a waterfall, which I didn't even know about, and a little path that goes to it. There you go, Canada in a nutshell. You think you're going to see a burned out truck, and you actually see that, plus a bonus waterfall. And by the way, the sun is starting to hit the mountains at an angle, so like various shafts of light are shooting in at different directions. It's quite cool. Pulled down a side road just to see this train that I saw going by. Okay, here I am in a very charming town called Hope, British Columbia, and a very charming hotel room in the Park Motel. It's kind of older facilities, but excellent, quiet, and in an amazing setting. We are going to go to dinner or somewhere in Hope, and then we're going to drive around a little bit or walk around a little bit or something, looking for more cool sunset images on the landscape around here, and to see what we can find here in Hope. So that'll be in the extended version of this video, so go there if you want to see that. And otherwise, thank you very much for watching this and seeing another excellent and unusual part of British Columbia. See you next time. This video continues in the extended version. See the whole thing, plus past and future extended videos without ads, and get other special perks via my Patreon page by pledging support for my work exploring unusual and lesser-known destinations. Special thanks this week to Calvin Ferreira, Darcy Otranto, David Richley, Jacob Fatz, Lever Wong, Matt Kane, Michael Fedor, Nathaniel Holland, Omeyer, Ray Nichols, Samantha, and Will Phillips. You can also sign up for my free weekly email newsletter, which features behind-the-scenes info and early links to videos before they're public. Links to both are in the video description. Thanks for wandering around with me.